Hello and welcome to my Ever Messy Art Studio. My name is Keeks, and today we're going to be taking a look at drawing a house scene. So I'd drawn a house scene the other day and I really enjoyed how it turned out. I liked how bright and colorful it was. So I decided that I wanted to try to film myself doing the same thing. So let's go ahead and get started. And from here on out, this will actually be fast forwarded a bit because this did take a long time to draw, but it was really fun. And so I just wanted to kind of share that process with you to see if maybe I could inspire somebody else to maybe try something different, because I have not sketched houses very often, and it turns out it was pretty fun. So hopefully you think so too. So the first thing I did was I went ahead and decided that I wanted perfect edges. So to do that, the easiest way is going to be to just simply put on a little bit of washi tape. You can use painter's tape, but honestly, washi tape is a lot more affordable. And it's just really easy. It doesn't rip your pages. You don't have to worry about messes. I just really like washi tape. So I have been using washi tapes that I don't use very often in my journals. Like, for example, this banana one, those colors don't really go with anything that I have. So I just decided that it was going to be the perfect thing to create a nice little square. Plus, this also gives you room for when you're done so that you can write like the date, any type of notes you have, things like that. So I highly suggest doing it. And then from here on out, I am going to go ahead and press fast forward on this so that you can see my process. I also popped my reference picture up. My reference picture actually comes from Art by Heather's Scroll and Scribbles. She has a whole board of over 400 images where she is able to do her scroll and scribbles, and they're copyright free. So I absolutely love that. And what I did was first I sketched a house that was similar to it. Now, because of the constraints of the paper, I did not make the house exactly like the one in the picture, but I did try my best to get it to be close to it to where you could tell where I got that image from. If you ever looked at those pictures side by side, you'd be like, hey, yeah, that is based off that house. Cool. But I did not actually leave enough room for the bay window that's in the front. So instead, I kind of slimmed the house down a little bit to where the door is really the main focus of that front part. But I do still think it kept the integrity of the image. And I would just recommend, take your time with it. This took me several hours to draw. And just put in as many details as you can. This one is really different for me because I am actually using a marker the entire time. I think some people use Micron. I like Millennial pens by Kuretake. I find them to be really nice, and you can put water over them. You can do whatever you want with them, and they never separate or do anything weird like that. They don't smear, and it doesn't go through the paper, so I really like them. But just try and draw what you see, or at least what you feel like you see. So I kind of made my own little designs there. I didn't do the same exact ones that were in the picture, but I did something that reminded me of it. And I think that in itself makes it a lot more fun. This house was really fun and almost Halloween-y. I kind of wish I would have done this back in October. But just because an image looks like it's, out of season doesn't mean that you shouldn't try it. If it's something that speaks to you, just go ahead and draw it, and that's going to be a lot of fun. This house, if you look really close in the picture, is actually on wheels too, which is interesting. So I kind of wonder if this house was always there or if it was something where they just kind of wheeled it in the area and took a picture of it, because if so, that's totally funny. I don't know if this was part of like a Renfest type thing or if somebody actually lives in this house or not, but it's definitely a very fun image. And then I just made my own little trees, and I made some stars. I just wanted it to be very fun and not too serious. So you'll see me here just adding like a couple little flowers to the grass that aren't even in the image, and that's totally fine. Painting here, I am still playing around my gouache. I'm trying to get to learn it a bit better. I think maybe I've made a mistake though. You see, whenever I pulled these out, I assumed everyone uses their gouache dry and then adds water to it, but I think you can actually just use it in its regular form too. So part of me almost wants to empty this tray and restart again because it is airtight, so it should keep the gouache nice and wet. Because right now it's acting more like a watercolor and I want to see it in its full gouache form, but that's neither here nor there. That's something that we can deal with later. At one point I realized that I forgot to add some little details, so it's totally fine to go back. And then I just continued painting and getting to know this new palette a little bit, because I've only really painted with it once, so this was the second time I was painting with it, and I had a lot of fun just kind of experimenting and seeing what I could do and what I couldn't do. I'm not someone who's very good at detailed painting, so this was also a lot of fun because I was having to try to stay within those lines, which was a little bit of a struggle for me, but in the end I think I got it pretty good. And I also wanted to try to make it to where, besides the Halloween look, I wanted the windows and stuff to kind of glow. So after I added my oranges and my blacks, then I went in and tried to figure out, hey, how am I going to make this glow? So what I ended up doing was I used yellow, and I did kind of a mix of the regular yellow as well as the kind of orangish color. So I just kind of mixed them up a little bit and then put them over the windows, over the lights, over those kind of things. And then afterwards, I went in and added just a little bit more to kind of help with that glow. So I didn't mind if it went out of the lines here because I felt like it would kind of, pull it all together. And then that's whenever I started working on the background while that was drying. So I did my tree. I am not the best at trees, so anything to do with this tree, I'm sorry if it looks weird, but it's just me practicing. Eventually I'll get the hang of it. I did try the green that the gouache came with, and I felt like those bushes were a bit too bright, but I wanted to go ahead and do the grass. That way I could kind of see how I can mix those colors. So I ended up for the grass doing the green that it came with, but mixing it lightly with brown. And it gave me this really nice olive color, which I absolutely love. And then I painted the olive over the green that I already had there just to kind of darken it up a little bit. And then I added that same green to the trees. I probably could have mixed other colors, but I'm still new at this, so I'm just trying to do my best with what I have. And later on, whenever I start feeling more confident with it, then I'll do that. After I painted everything and it was dry, I went ahead and added what I would consider the paneling on the house. In the picture, there's no paneling, but I just felt like it was too bare without it. So I wanted to try to add it to give it more of a dramatic feel. After everything was all nice and dry, I came in and I used my Luminance colored pencils. As you can see, I'm adding a bit of orange here to the windows to make them have that glow feeling to them. And then I took a little baby black that I have in there and added some shadows to the paneling to kind of add to that dramaticness that I was trying to envelop it in. Because even though it's not Halloween, I kind of wanted my house to look a little spooky because it was so cute. And then I went through and added more details to the bushes, added some more greens, and tried to really spruce up this image. You can just use random mark making and different layers of colors, and it's going to give you a little bit of zhuzh to your image. So that's what I was trying to do. And then I decided that I wanted to do like a little bit of a stone path. So I went ahead and added that in there and then gave it just a little bit more detail. And really, that's all it took for me to do this image. And I'm really proud of how it turned out. I think side by side, both of these images are going to look really cute, and I'm really proud of how it looks. I honestly think the only thing that I would have changed is maybe go back and think of a different background or, try to redo that tree, because I'm still not sure that that tree really fits in the image. The other thing that I think that I could have worked better at is maybe darkening the greens in here, because this is supposed to be a nighttime image and I feel like I painted it as if it was more of a daytime image. But that's just going to be stuff that's going to come with practice. So the more I practice, the better I'm going to get at it. And I don't typically do night scenes like this, so I'm still pretty proud of it. What do you think? Do you like how this image turned out? Do you want to draw something similar to it? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye!